Welcome back to Eliances Heroes, where heroes in business align. To be part of our super community and find out more about Eliances, visit www.Eliances.com. Now, back to our super host, David Cogan, founder of Eliances.
That's right, your super-duper host, and remember, this show is heroes. We unlock the secrets, we unmask them, and we find out what makes them tick and how we can live a more fulfilling life. They're ones that are helping others. We just had on this morning Potsy from Happy Days. Imagine that. I grew up watching him. Later on in the show, we're going to have an Inc. 505,000 software company founder where she's going to share her secret of how she's become so successful. And we'll be ending the show with not a 1, 2, 3, but a 12-time Olympic medalist for swimming. Imagine that, 12 medals hanging in your house. Well, without further ado, make sure you listen carefully because many people dream of winning the lottery. I mean, imagine if someone could just win the lottery once. They would be considered, well, I think, a lucky person. But imagine this, close your eyes, but not if you're driving, okay? You got to be doing something safe, close your eyes. Now imagine what you would do if you won not 1, not 2, not 3, not even 4, but 7 lotteries. Right, that's winning seven times, S-E-V-E-N. Now gather around because we're talking to the world's only 7-time lottery grand prize winner, Richard Lustig of winninglotterymethod.com. Richard, I got to ask you, are you the luckiest guy on the planet?
I am not the luckiest guy on the planet. In fact, I tell people all the time, luck has nothing to do with this. This is a tried and true method that I have created. It took me over 20 years to do it. It works. And let's also make sure that we don't mislead your listeners. I have not won the lottery 7 times. I've won 7 lottery game grand prizes. So whatever game those were that I was playing at that particular time, I won the grand prize in that game. I'm the only person in the world that has won 7 lottery game grand prizes. I mean, I've been recognized by Ripley's Believe It or Not. I've been on Good Morning America half a dozen times, Fox and Friends, Rachel Ray, MSNBC. I mean, the list just goes on and on and on. And all my wins are registered with the Florida State Lottery. So this is real. I'm not a scammer. I'm not a rip-off artist. I am the real McCoy.
But, Richard, how is that possible? How do you win 7 lottery grand prize things? How is it possible if it's not luck?
Because it's possible because I did something that now people don't have to do, is that I spent many, many years of losing, trying things. I started making a list of what ideas that I had, and the ideas that did not work, I threw them out the window. The ideas that did work, I kept them, and I played using those ideas. And as I kept increasing that list of ideas that worked and playing them all together is when I started seeing results. Now, in the beginning, I wasn't winning grand prizes, but before I was losing 99% of the time. I mean, I'd be lucky if I get a free ticket. But now I was all of a sudden winning regularly. I mean, again, not big grand prizes, but, $50, $500, $5,000. And so this kept going on. So I said, okay, this is good, a lot better than what was happening to me before. And then I won my first grand prize. And yes, at that point in my life, I did think that I was the luckiest guy in the world, that it was luck, and I didn't realize I really had a method. But then I won my second, my third. When I hit my 4th lottery grand prize, that is when the light went off in my head and said, you're not lucky. You've got a method, and it's working. And here I am today to prove it. I mean, now I not only have won 7 lottery game grand prizes, I've written a book called Learn How to Increase Your Chances of Winning the Lottery, which teaches people what they should and should not do. Because it's not that people are stupid. It's just they don't know how to play the game, and they make a lot of mistakes. So my book is teaching them how to play the game properly so they have a better chance of winning.
Wow, is what I have to say.
And my book is a 2-time #1 bestseller.
Wow, and again, you can reach Richard by going to winninglotterymethod.com. And you're listening to Eliances Heroes on Money Radio. Are you a hero in business? Go to Eliances, ELIANCES.com. This is the place where entrepreneurs come together. This is the destination. Now, what's one of the secrets? Can you share with us maybe one of the secrets? Our audience of hundreds of thousands, but don't worry, we'll all keep it a secret. Wait, we promise to. One little secret.
They'll go out and tell their friends
come
and
on.
family,
No,
but that's okay.
we're all close here. What's one little secret?
I have advice and I have tips that I can share with you today. The advice, real quick, is one of the things that I just drilled into people's heads over and over and over again. Set a budget. That's the very first thing you should do. Set a budget. Don't spend grocery money. Don't spend rent money. Don't get caught up in what's called lottery fever. Because remember, whenever there is a huge, big, grand prize, and eventually it rolls over, and finally somebody wins it, and sometimes the winner, there's actually maybe even 2 or 3 winners that have to split the pot. But no matter what, you got to remember there are millions of people who lost that night. So there's millions of people losing every day, and only a handful of people winning every day. So don't wake up the next morning and find out that you're not only a loser, but now also you're pulling your hair out of your head trying to figure out, how am I going to replace that money I spent that I really couldn't afford to spend? So that's my advice thing. Now let's talk about a tip. Let me give you some. Let me get you one tip for starters. And this is going to drive your listeners crazy when I say this. People, do not buy quick picks. Now, for the listeners who don't know what a quick pick is, that's when you hand the clerk a couple of bucks and you say, give me a couple tickets for tonight's big drawing, and the computer gives you a set of numbers to play for that night, a ticket for that night. Every time you buy a quick pick, you're getting a different set of numbers. So, for instance, in Powerball, the odds of winning Powerball are like 1 in 292 million, I think it is. So every time you get a quick pick, your odds are always going to be 1 in 292 million. They never increase. And my whole method is all about teaching you how to increase your chances of winning. So by buying quick picks, you're not increasing your chances of winning. You're always at their worst. So do not buy quick picks. Now, people say to me, well, the lottery people say, you should buy quick picks because more people have won with quick picks than those who play their own numbers.
Right.
And they're absolutely right. More people have won playing quick picks than those who have picked their own numbers. But what they don't tell you is millions and millions and millions of more people have lost who bought quick picks than those who play their own numbers.
Wow, this is great advice.
Does that make sense?
It sure does. I mean, this is great advice.
The thing is, there's so much more. What I gave you is just the tip of the iceberg. I mean, there's so much more to my method that I get this all the time from people. They call me up or they send me an email. I got your book. I read it. I cannot believe how easy this is. Why didn't I think of these things? Because most of my book is common sense stuff.
Oh,
and I
great.
purposely wrote the book so that it was very easy for people to understand it, so they could use it right away and hopefully win with it right away. Instead of some book that takes you forever to read it and you're still not sure what you read. You know what I mean?
Right. And for you to even sharing this with others, I mean, that's absolutely incredible. So after this interview, I'm telling you, all of our listeners, including myself, our producer, Glue, that's her nickname, Wes here working the boards, and more. Well, we're all going to go buy a lottery ticket, and we're going to take your advice. We're also going to get your book at winninglotterymethod.com. I mean, you're doing so much. This is absolutely, completely incredible for you to share this. Anyone who can devise their own plan to win the lottery, then decide to teach others is certainly a hero. Richard Lustig, you're a hero. And when we return, we're going to have Inc. 505,000 software company founder. You're going to be blown away how she came up with this, what she's doing now. Absolutely incredible. David Cogan with Eliances.